Good morning, everyone. We will call a commission meeting to order. First items of business is the minutes and treasurer's report. If there are no adjustments to either one of those, I would ask for one motion to approve both.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Wendy, are you doing a roll call?
Yes, I am, but who seconded? I didn't, with the my screen, I can't see who seconded.
Willis.
Thank you. Okay, roll call. Daryl Sanis,
Aye.
Tasha Kamar,
Aye.
Ann Norris,
Aye. Keep your voice
Reese
down.
Kaiser,
Therese Kaiser.
Jeanette, okay. I missed her?
Hi,
Okay. There she
is
is.
my mic not working?
Now we got you.
Thank
It's
you.
working.
Kimberly Sandberg,
Aye.
Al Mattson,
Aye.
Phil Leaf,
Aye.
Kirk McDonald,
Yes.
Mark Schultz. Mark?
Mark, can you hear us? Mark Schultz. Okay, just keep moving, Wendy.
Riley Grams,
Aye.
Emily Kastner,
Hi,
Jim Willis,
Aye.
Bill Flanigan,
Aye.
George Selman.
Yes.
That's roll call.
Okay, Al? Oh, Al, you are muted. Al Mattson, you are muted. We cannot hear you. Al Mattson. I will unmute you, Al. Or I'm asking you to unmute. Can you unmute?
How about now?
There we go. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, all right. First item under action items is an introduction of a new member. And Mike, do you want to handle that?
Sure, I would like to introduce Emily Kastner. She was recently appointed as communications manager for the city of Plymouth in March of this year. She replaces Helen Lefebvre, who retired in February. Emily began working in the city of Plymouth in 2013 as a communications assistant, and within a few months was hired as a communications coordinator. Prior to joining the city of Plymouth, Emily worked in communications at the city of Edina. Emily has a bachelor's degree in mass communications with a focus in public relations from Winona State University. And Emily attended the Cable Commission and NWCT orientation session here in March. And we just want to officially welcome Emily. So welcome aboard, Emily, to your first meeting of the Northwest Suburbs Cable Communications Commission and to the board, because you have been appointed to both. Do you want to say anything, Emily?
thank you so much. I am pleased to be here and learning the ropes, so.
All right, well, thank you.
Welcome. Nice to have you with us.
Thank you.
Next item under action items is the insurance liability waiver. We will need a motion for that. So Mike?
Yes, again, this is a somewhat of a housekeeping item we do every year. By doing, basically, we're asking people to not waive the monetary limits on municipal tort liability, which was established by Minnesota statute 466.04. And by doing this, you are affirming that we simply request liability coverage equal to the statutory limit. So we're requesting, and we'll be doing this at the board meeting as well, but we're requesting that the Northwest Suburbs Cable Communication Commission vote to not waive the monetary limits on municipal tort liability.
Any questions from the members regarding this?
Mr. Chair, I move the resolution approving the waiver.
I'll second McDonald.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 We'll have to do the
Opposed?
roll call vote on
Wendy will
this,
do the
right?
roll call.
Fanis,
Aye.
Farmar,
Aye.
Norris,
Aye.
Kaiser,
Aye.
Sandberg,
Aye.
Mattson,
Aye.
Leaf,
Aye.
McDonald,
Aye.
Schultz. I don't think he's on anymore. Grams,
Aye.
Katzner,
Aye.
Willis,
Aye.
Flanigan, and Selman.
Yes.
Selman.
Yeah. Yes.
Motion has passed. Next item is amendment to our articles of incorporation regarding the corporate name change. Mike?
Yes, Mr. Chair, thank you. As you know, we've been talking about this for quite some time. As you know, and a couple of years ago, we did the branding change to CCX Media, but our corporate name has been Northwest Suburbs Community Access Corporation since the very beginning. And as we mentioned back in February, it's important that if we ever do any significant fundraising and things down the road, and to lessen the ambiguity factor of who we are and all these different names, because we've got that official name, and then we changed our name through the Secretary of State just from Northwest Suburbs Community Access to Northwest Community Television. So basically what we want to do is just change the entire corporate name. So even our checks will say CCX Media, our tax filings will be 990s, everything will be under CCX Media. And so we will need a majority vote in order to make this change of the commission. And then when we get to the board, we're going to need 2/3 vote for that to take place. And we did have 100% approval to move forward with this process from the board and the commission back at our February meeting. So now this is the formal action to then, once it's approved at this level here, this meeting and at the board meeting, then we'll bring this forward to the Secretary of State. And Mr. Bradley, I don't know if you want to chime in on this at all. I know because Mike is the one who put together the documents. Is there any comments you would like to make?
No, great job, Mike. That's exactly right. So we need a majority approval of the commission board for the name change, and then we'll need an affirmative vote of 2/3 of the membership of CCX Media.
Okay, thank you, Mike and Mike. Any discussion regarding this? Anybody have any comments, questions, whatever the case may be?
Chair,
Jim does.
Mr. Chairman,
Jim? Yes.
I move the approval of the articles of amendment to the Northwest Suburbs Community Access Corporation to change its names to CCX Media.
Motion has been made to approve.
Second.
Is there a second?
Second.
I hear a second. Okay.
Here, but who seconded?
Bill.
Bill?
Thank you.
Wendy, roll call?
Fanis,
Aye.
Farmar,
Aye.
Norris.
Aye.
Kaiser. Teresa Kaiser,
Aye.
Sandberg,
Aye.
Mattson. Al,
Oh, I'm sorry. Aye.
Leaf,
Aye.
McDonald,
Aye.
Schultz,
Aye.
Rams.
Aye.
Katzner,
Aye.
Willis,
Aye.
Flanigan,
Aye.
Selman.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Information items. Mr. Bradley.
Well, good morning again, everybody. My legal report is in the packet. I'll just highlight really the biggest item in the legal report is the cable franchising appeal of the FCC's cable franchising order. That we had a lot of activity in that docket, but the bottom line is we had an oral argument and the matter has been fully briefed and argued now before the Sixth Circuit Court of Appeals. And we are awaiting an order from that court at this point. But happy to answer any other questions you might have.
Any members have any questions for Mr. Bradley?
Bill?
I do.
Yes, Bill.
Mr. Bradley, in your report, I think I know what this means, but I'm not positive. It says the court did address the in-kind issue with the FCC and indicated it thought the FCC was confused. And when the proper payor is identified, the in-kind question is answered. What does that mean as far as good news, bad news for us?
Well, that's to be determined, Bill. We're trying to glean as much as we could. I can tell you that based on my listening of the oral argument, it really seemed that the court was really on the issue of local governments and the local government authority over non-cable services provided by cable operators. So that's really where almost all of the focus of the oral argument was. They did address what's sometimes referred to as the in-kind issue. And really, the in-kind issue is non-monetary franchise considerations being considered part of the franchise fee. So that's one of the issues, obviously, that we were very concerned about. But really, there was two main issues in front of the court: the in-kind issue, but then also this issue. And the court really focused on the preemption issue the most. As far as the in-kind, yeah, I'd like to think that the court was really understanding our point of view, and that particular comment was really based on, I think, fair market value versus actual costs. And I think that's where the court was really saying, look, you got this backwards as far as when we're identifying costs, when to use fair market value, when to use actual costs. You're looking at the cable operator, you should be using actual costs. That's the way I was interpreting that comment anyway. So, as you know, it's hard to glean what a court is thinking and how they're going to decide. And so I'm not going to try to guess exactly on what they're ultimately going to do. But our summary, I tried to keep the summary pretty factual as far as what the court actually addressed in the oral argument. Obviously, we're hopeful for a positive outcome here.
Is there a time frame, guesstimate?
Yeah, 2 or 3 months at this point would be my guesstimate. Probably by our next meeting, we'll have an order.
Any other questions from any members for Mr. Bradley? Okay, thank you, Mike. Communications continue. Attachment number 7. Mike?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I will share the screen here in terms of the communications. Wanted to bring forth the first quarter 2021 results from Comcast. Basically, they had revenue on the Xfinity side, the cable side, of $15.8 billion in the first quarter. Of course, Comcast owns NBC Universal. They brought in $7 billion there, and then this Sky, which is a operation in Europe, a media operation in Europe, that brought in $5 billion. Adjusted, basically, there's when you look at net income, like it says EBITDA, which stands for earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization. Think of it in somewhat terms of a net revenue with a few changes, but that $6 billion number would be more of the net revenue. So cable itself, really didn't see a lot of specific growth, but their broadband meaning like the internet side of things definitely did. And you can see in this particular chart, revenue compared to overall. This is a consolidated revenue. When comparing 2020 to 2021, they went from 26.6 billion to 27.2, and then kind of there, think of it, the net revenue of 8.1 billion to 8.4 billion overall, and then the earnings per share. So, but if you see, and maybe I can highlight this on the screen down here in blue, this where my cursor is, it shows the video minus 0.2% to 5.6 billion, like on the cable side, and then you see the broadband wireless. They're actually in the wireless business now too, with some partnerships and things. So that's being reflected there as well. I won't go through any of the other documents here. Just move on to, there's a little article in here about President Biden would like to see local governments provide broadband internet. You know, there's pluses. If you read this article, there's pluses and minuses to it. Some municipalities have had success with it, and some have not and had to get out of it. So, but it's the idea of trying to have some type of competition, because people think of broadband / internet more of like a truly essential thing these days, like electricity, gas, you know, the old telephone line. That internet is truly essential. So very interesting article, and I guess there's going to be some money put out there, and has been for further options for municipalities to look into this. And there's also a lot of areas, there's still some rural areas out there that don't have decent internet service. I mean, that's starting to change over time, but it's important to point out that there's still areas in this country where there are issues related to that. So the other thing is, there's a little article here about the FCC. They have this new speed test, and there's a link to that if you ever want to go to that. That's within the documents that I sent you. And then here, finally, this is something I sent out to all of our city managers, to all of you. You probably are aware, of course, about the emergency broadband benefit program, where especially low-income households could be eligible for up to $50 a month towards internet service. There's also an equipment component, and here's a Spanish version of that. There's also a equipment component to that you can get a certain amount of money towards, like a laptop or a PC that could be used with this emergency broadband benefit money. When this hit on May 12th, the lines at the through whoever the FCC was contracting with certainly filled up pretty quickly. So again, I passed this on to all the cities. Some of the cities were promoting it and letting people know within their communities about that. And then finally, this is an interesting article about, again, because you know, you look at the future of competition with cable. Of course, people who have Netflix are using their internet to get Netflix and Amazon Prime and, you know, Disney Plus and all that. So when you read the headline here, it says Netflix lost more than 30% market share to competitors in 2020, which is true. But Netflix, I mean, they're still the big player. They have over 200 million subscribers within the Netflix universe. So it's just that they're starting to see more competition. Obviously, Amazon Prime is the next in line, and then you know, Comcast is starting out that Peacock network. Everybody's trying to get into streaming. So, and I just want to say we were into streaming even before some of these other organizations. So I just want to put that out there in terms of all the things that CCX Media has done. So anyway, that pretty much concludes the communications report. I don't know if anybody has any questions on that before we go on to the next item.
Any questions from members for Mike? Okay, if not, under other, we do have one added item, which is attachment 8. It's a resolution to make Bill Flanigan official and legal. So Mike?
Yeah, I'll make it quick. So we just found out, was it yesterday or the day before, that Wings said we need more than just the minutes of the meeting from the February meeting that mentioned that Bill Flanigan would be the new treasurer. We need a resolution that he could be an authorized signer on the account. And so we're just asking for approval of this resolution.
Any questions from members?
This is Norris. I approve, make a motion to approve.
Second, Selman.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? If not, Wendy, roll call.
Fanis,
Aye.
Farmar,
Aye.
Norris,
Aye.
Kaiser. Aye. Sandberg,
Aye.
Mattson,
Aye.
Leith,
Aye.
McDonald,
Aye.
Schultz,
Aye.
Grams.
Aye.
Kastner,
Aye.
Willis.
Jim is muted.
Flanagan,
Aye.
Selman.
Yes.
All right, motion is approved. Anything else to come before? If not, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Move we adjourn, Selman.
Motion made and seconded, okay. Wendy, roll call.
Fanis,
Aye.
Farmar,
Aye.
Norris,
Aye.
Kaiser. Aye. Sandberg,
Aye.
Mattson,
Aye.
Leith,
Aye.
McDonald,
Aye.
Schultz,
Aye.
Grams.
Aye.
Kastner,
Aye.
Willis, no, he's still muted. Flanagan. Bill,
Yes.
Selman.
Yes.
Aye.
Motion's approved. We are adjourned. The commission meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Marcia, it's all yours.
All right, welcome to the Board of Directors meeting. Mike, you want to kick us off, or Wendy do roll call, check us all in? Or do we need to,
Sure.
we don't need to roll call check in?
We don't need the roll call, but Madam
Okay.
Chair, the only thing we need to do though is just mention that we need to add Emily Kastner's name to our roll call list. Helen's name is still there, but we'll get that corrected for the next meeting.
Okay, so then first thing for us is the consent items, which is the minutes and the treasurer's report. And if there aren't any discussion on that, we can take a motion.
Motion to approve Sanis.
Second, McDonald.
Okay, moved and seconded. Wendy, would you do the roll call on the consent items?
Orn. Dwayne, you're muted.
Wendy, while that's being figured out, go on to the next.
Norris,
Aye.
Mattson,
Aye.
McDonald,
Aye.
Grams.
Aye.
Katzner,
Aye.
Glick,
Aye.
Schultz. Mark, did he leave again? Posner,
Aye.
Sanis,
Aye.
Reindorf, Roberta,
Yes.
LaHaye.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. That brings us to the first action item, which is the insurance liability waiver.
Sure, Madam Chair. Basically, same language as before. We just need to have a vote on the tort liability limits. So we're requesting that the Northwest Community Television Board of Directors vote to not waive monetary limits on Minnesota tort liability.
Okay, any questions? Otherwise, looking for a motion.
I'll make
Almost.
I think
Go
we
ahead.
had McDonald and Norris, was that?
No, I think it's Mark.
Oh, okay.
Schultz and Norris. Okay, roll call. Orn. I think you got it figured out yet.
Maybe Dr. Oren, can you raise your hand if you can hear us? Are you voting in favor? Okay, perfect. Go ahead. Wendy.
Norris,
Aye.
Mattson,
Aye.
McDonald,
Aye.
Grams,
Aye.
Kastner,
Aye.
Glick,
Aye.
Schultz,
Aye.
Posner,
Aye.
Sanis,
Aye.
Reindorf,
Aye.
LaHaye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Then we have the amendment to the Articles of Incorporation.
That is correct, and we will need a 2/3 vote. I believe it would be at least 10 members. I believe we have most members here, again, to propose the name change to CCX Media. As mentioned in the previous meeting, we are asking that this become official, and if it does, with this vote, we will pass this on to the Secretary of State's office in the state of Minnesota to have this reflected in the records. And then we would then go through a lot of other change. Once that's all put into the records, then we would notify banks. We would make sure that our auditors, when they're filling out 990s and other things, that this new name would be reflected going forward. So again, staff is recommending approval of the Articles of Amendment of the Northwest Suburbs Community Access Corporation. And again, we need at least 10 votes in the affirmative to get this passed.
Mike, do you mind if I ask a question?
Sure. ahead.
I have no problems with the name change, but I'm just wondering, in-house, is there still going to be a division on the CCX Create side? Is there some way of telling one side from the other side?
What do you mean by division?
Well, I know you want everything to be CCX Media, but right now on the other side, we have the CCX Create that we kind of call ourselves. And then are the paid staff and the volunteer staff, is there going to be some sort of designation, or so we know if we're going to give monetary contributions or anything, that we write it up as such?
Okay, you're basically referring to the branding side of things. So basically we
Right.
have, all right, we have the organization, the overall umbrella organization will be, after this vote, if it gets voted in the affirmative, will be called CCX Media. Within CCX Media, we have 4 what we call sub brands of the, like, think of them as departments, right? We have news, sports, cities, and then create.
Okay.
So does that make sense?
Yeah, that's what I want to double check on is if it's still divided up as we currently see it. Because when we do our shows, a lot of times we'll put CCX Create little emblems or little, that type of thing on it. On our side.
You can still do that. And in terms of donations, and we did a donations program towards the end of the year, and we let people choose how they want to earmark money or donations to the organization. If they want to, donate it specifically for create purposes, or they want it to go for news or whatever. So we have that delineation set up within our program. So, but we definitely want to keep these sub brands because it is powerful. We spent a lot of time, building that up, and so we're very excited about this once we get this approval change, because it's going to help a lot.
And that's what I wanted to make sure somebody asks me, that I can give them the correct answer, that it is still subdivided, but that's the main umbrella, like you call it, name.
Correct.
Okay, thank you. That's the only question I had.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions?
Madison moves approval.
I'll move for second.
Second. Oh,
So you had a move and a second. Wendy, you got that, and so we have a roll call.
Orn,
Yeah, aye.
Norris,
Aye.
Mattson,
Aye.
McDonald,
Aye.
Grams.
Aye.
Kastner,
aye.
Glick,
Aye.
Schultz,
Aye.
Posner,
Aye.
Sanis,
Aye.
Reindorf,
Aye.
LaHaye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Information items, an update on our Diversity, Inclusion, Social Justice Committee.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. As you're aware, we formed an ad hoc committee back in January to look at ways that CCX Media could help with better reflecting people of color and just the diversity overall within the Northwest suburbs. And we've made some major strides in that. Not that we haven't been doing it before, because we've been doing a lot. We're storytellers here for the most part. Within all departments, there are stories being told about people in our community, a lot of uplifting, positive stories across the board. Our committee meets about 2 times a month. We've got a very energetic committee, and we meet via video conference on Microsoft Teams. And our next meeting is actually next week. The committee put together an initial survey where we sent it out to city managers. We wanted to basically see, what the city managers know in terms of diversity within their cities and who we can contact at City Hall. And that survey came back with 100%. We had 100% participation in that survey. It was very valuable. So it helps us, find and get to the right people within the community. And now we had another survey go out to elected officials, that'll be due up at the end of the month. And that survey, again, went out to all the municipal elected officials, school boards, some of the higher education officials within the school districts, North Hennepin Community College, the Technical Center. And so we're very anxious to get feedback on that. So basically what we're doing is building up a database of people that we're going to be able to do some outreach for, because if we don't know who's out there specifically, it's hard to outreach to people, because not everybody knows who we are, right? I mean, we want everybody to know who CCX Media is, but will always be, our goal, to get as many people to know who we are. So we made a great video. Dave and then Javier put together a video and I think I sent it to all the board members and commission members, kind of explaining what the committee is doing and that we want people to fill out the survey. So if you haven't watched the video, I think it's just a couple minutes long, but it turned out really well. And I want to thank Dave and Javi for putting that together, and then all the members who participated within that video. And we're also going to do a better job kind of keeping track of all the people who are, working in doing a lot of diverse programs. We've had a lot of diversity participation within Create since the day we started. And so now we just want to log these things better too, because we do have a lot of people throughout the community using our Create services. So we're going to get into more granular detail related to all that. So we're very excited about that. And 2 of our committee members have been working on programs in Create. Roberta Reindorf, one of them, who's on our board, is working on various programs related to diversity and inclusion and social justice. And Janina Posner has produced several programs in Spanish for the Three Rivers Park District, and has voiced some things for us for some PSA. So we're very excited about that. And so we just want to plant the seed out there that if any, in terms of anything Spanish language, if any city out there needs anything done in Spanish, we would love to do that for you. So we're just kind of putting that out there. Think about that in terms of a communications aspect, because we can make that happen. So I'm thankful for the committee members, Mike Elliott, Camille Hepela, Janina Posner, Roberta Reindorf, Javier Cedillo, Dave Kaiser, Shannon Slatton, and Tamisha Torrey for all their work that they've done so far. We'll be working throughout the summer and then reporting back on what we've accomplished over the summertime. So that concludes my report on our ad hoc committee. Any questions?
Any questions or comments? Okay, then we have the staff reports.
Sure, Madam Chair, we're gonna, and I think I'm just going to, we sent out the printed reports, but I asked all of our staff to just chime in on that report and a few other things. And we're going to start out with Shannon, then go to Tim, Javier, and then Dave. So let's kick it off with Shannon Slatton.
All right, good morning, everybody, and thanks, Mike. Just to start off with some really good news, we were recognized for some of the work that we've done from the Midwest Broadcast Journalism Association, their Eric Severide Awards. And so we received several awards in the Award of Merit category, and then 2 awards we finished in first place. And when we compete in these categories, we have to compete against the large market television stations in Minneapolis, St. Paul, and Milwaukee. So we are just tickled that we got a little bit of recognition. I think the stories that we listed, that we submitted, are really touch on all of our cities. I'm going to call your attention to 2 of them we received recognition for. One, Award of Merit under the Talk Public Affairs category, the Joint Community Conversation. That involved the mayors and police chiefs in Brooklyn Park and Brooklyn Center. It was kind of an several departments worked on this. Mr. Kaiser headed it up. And this the George Floyd death. And so this was good to get recognition for really what we do every day and bringing our cities together and share communication needs there. And then we received the first place in the social media efforts for our local vote campaign. And this was a lot of work that happened behind the scenes. I know we've touched on it before with our candidate statements, the forums that we do. We brought it all together in one place online, and then we tried to get it out as many places as we could. So it was nice to receive recognition in that category as well. Moving on, I don't think we can talk about the news around in the Northwest suburbs without referencing Brooklyn Center. And we definitely have covered that in the best ways that we know how. In the month of April, we did 37 stories connected to the police shooting and unrest, and that totaled 27% of all stories that we did in the month of April. And this ranged from how the community was responding, what was happening inside City Hall, how other cities were enacting curfews. So it really ran the gamut of stories there. The stories that gained the most traction for us online really pertained to what no one else was covering, and that was what was happening with city services and at City Hall. The Crystal Police Chief's letter to the Brooklyn Center City Council regarding mutual aid, that generated more traffic than anything else that we covered. And to my knowledge, we're the only ones that put that out there. And so I think that kind of speaks to we're bringing something to the table that no one else is talking about and no one else is supplying. So I was glad for that. And just to reiterate, I know everybody on this call knows that when the big story is over, when all the other media outlets that are in town go home and stop covering like the headline grabbing stuff, we'll still be here covering what happens in city council meetings and what's important for the residents of Brooklyn Center. So I'm proud of the work that we've done so far, and I know it's a story that we will continue to tell. And then finally, we started a new segment called Newsmakers in April, and this is just a chance for us to sit down in the studio with someone who's making news, either an elected official, county commissioner, school superintendent, someone of that nature, and talk a little bit more in depth about an issue. We had Senator Warren Limmer and Representative Cedric Frazier in to talk about police reform. We had Dr. Stephanie Barrage, Robbinsville interim superintendent, to talk about the Dante Wright death on students. We've got Representative Freiberg coming in today to talk about the cannabis bill and just the end of the legislative session. So we feel like this is an opportunity just to get a little bit deeper with some of the bigger stories for our area, and particularly some of the stories that don't have a lot of video to go with it. So it's just good to sit down and actually just talk a little more in depth. So if anybody has any ideas or any suggestions, please send them our way. And then I'll finish with a little bit of breaking news that didn't make this. One of our team members has been poached by a big station in Minneapolis that I'm not allowed to say which one, but our Pafua Yang will be leaving us. Her last day is next Friday. And I can't tell which station she's going to yet because I don't think all the members of that station know, but I'll say just watch the morning shows and you'll see a familiar face. But we are proud of her. We're happy for her. We couldn't be more tickled for her opportunity, but it's sad for us too at the same time because she was a great person to have around here. And so the work begins on hiring the next person. Send me anybody good you know. That's all I have, Mike.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Shannon, this is Al. I just want to congratulate great staff for their outstanding achievements. So please pass that on to the staff.
Absolutely will. Thank you.
All right, well, let's pass this on then to Tim Gaffron.
Good morning, everybody. You have the report that was in the packet. I'll just touch on a couple of things. City meeting coverage seems to change on a weekly, almost daily basis as far as how we're doing it at different cities, and with the restrictions being lifted, we're looking at how we get back to in-person meetings or going to hybrid in some of the places that have been totally remote. So working through those things. We are working on upgrades to channel 16 signal path, the signal that comes from City Halls back to our facility. Getting some upgrades done with that as we can, depending on what's happening with the systems at City Halls as they get replaced. We're making sure that we're HD all the way as far as we can. We want to make sure that we can get an HD signal all the way to Comcast equipment, which is in our head end here. And then unfortunately, the channel 16 signals will still be standard definition, but we'll give them the best that we can as far as we can down the line. So, and that's SD per the current franchise agreement. As far as council chambers upgrade projects, as I noted, we completed Plymouth this winter. Golden Valley, we're in the planning stages and having meetings about that, and expect to be working on that this fall. And then stats are also in the packet. As can be expected, there was a big spike for Brooklyn Center in April for interest in city meetings. And so that spike is reflected in the report there. And I guess that's all I have right now. If there are any questions, I'm happy to try and answer them.
Okay, any questions?
Okay, thank you,
It's
Tim.
Al. This is Tim. It's Al. Congratulations on your longevity with the organization.
Well, thank you, Al. It's been, it'll be 36 years this week. So, wow.
Now who's counting?
Thank you.
Yeah. Tim mentioned, if you look at the statistics, especially on the Brooklyn Center side, we had typical views in a month might be 100 or 150. In the month of April, it was 1,400, I believe. So those statistics are reflected in your report. So with that said, let's pass it on to Javier Cedillo to talk about a little bit about the Create department.
Good morning. So start off with what's on the packet. I'll kind of go around it. First of all, you see Sydney. She's our intern. She started in January, so having her has been a big help. Every Saturdays we create little segments called CCX Create Update. We posted a little 2-minute video, 3-minute video on Facebook, and it just got plenty of faces. It's got important information that we have coming up in the next coming months, and just really important information for people to know what they're going into when they come into the studio. And underneath that one, we got a few numbers there, and I'm very proud with the numbers that we have there. We've been receiving a lot of programs from outside and inside. A lot of people have kept on coming, even though this past year has been very tough for a lot of people. I'm very proud of the members that are coming in, and they keep on creating, and I'm helping them, kind of pushing them and helping them create these shows, kind of encouraging them to keep on going. And underneath that one is music to our ears. So music productions are starting to come in now that there's a few things lifting. We're excited. We're very happy. I know there's a program that will be coming in. I'm just waiting for the phone call. You might heard of them, the Polka show. So I'm looking forward to that phone call. Hopefully having them here soon. I just wanted to say also our members are the best. They make this place very cheerful, happy. It's always a sunshine when they come in. So I just want to say that they deserve the best. And we have some new equipment coming in, thanks to Sean and helping us kind of organize that. So we're going to have them kind of set up and get them with their shows going out faster and faster. So one more thing is diversity is a big thing here in CCS Create. There's a lot of voices, there's a lot of stories, and I'm helping a lot of people come in, get their voices heard. And I just want to say that I really appreciate them keep on coming in, getting those stories out, and hopefully giving somebody encouraging words in case they're kind of stuck. So if anybody has any questions, please let me know or contact me here anytime. So thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you. Any questions? All right, CCX Sports Media.
Probably media in general. We're going to have Dave kind of do an overall wrap up of all the things happening within sports and cities and the whole work. So take it away, Dave.
Thanks, Mike, and good morning, everyone. Give you a few quick updates of some of the things happening around CCX Media, starting with the sports. And we've always known that the sports coverage we do is essential because families, kids get their chance to be spotlighted on TV. Well, as you see in the notes here, our sports coverage was extra essential this past season because of COVID. There was a limited attendance, in some cases, no attendance at many of these events. So our crew really stepped up and provided that coverage for the parents, for the grandparents that they couldn't see in person. The neat part then came when we came to the sports playoffs. And in most cases, we are charged fees for doing any type of live coverage during the playoff season. But thanks to the high school league and the sections and regions, they waived those fees this winter and this winter season. So we were able to go ahead and do live coverage of many of those sporting events so parents and family members could see them that were not able to be in the gym. And as you see, we had a great case to follow. We had the state boys basketball champion from Wayzata High School that we covered throughout the tournament as far as we could, and our coverage is allowed. So thanks to the high school league and others for helping us out on that. And again, a very dedicated crew that has the COVID shields up in the truck, dividing them, very careful and set up out on sites, and did a wonderful job putting together some sports coverage. And we're hoping some of those thoughts of the essentialness of local community media and sports continues on. And maybe some of those fees as we move forward can continue to be waived as people see the value of getting these sports out to the community. Helping city engagement efforts, obviously a lot has been going on, and we have worked with the cities very closely on some of the engagement efforts they've been doing with the community, whether that be through their police departments, embedded police officers, through their recreation departments, informational community discussions, special community events. So hats off to our city staff and also the news staff. This is a full team effort at CCX Media to make sure that people get the information they need and know how cities are trying to engage with the community at this time. One other update that's just breaking now is we have been in touch with the police chief of the city of New Hope and talking about a new idea to increase this engagement and have an opportunity somewhat similar like we do with the mayor's minutes, where on a rotating basis every 9 weeks, a mayor from a city would come in and just chat for 3-5 minutes about community engagement, about any statistics, maybe making any comments about things that are currently topics in the public. And so Chief Hoyt is going to do that coming up here at the end of the month from the city of New Hope. That will be our pilot project. And then after that point, we would look to contact other cities and other police chiefs to see if they're interested in, well, again, coming in on about an every 2-month basis, just do an update to help police communicate with the public and stay engaged with the public. Just another service that we can offer here at CCX Media. Going the extra mile for community partners. We obviously worked hard as people and cities put together modified events. And so you see some of the notes here. The picture that you see in the corner is of the ever popular bike rodeo that happens with a number of area cities. And again, they tried to do some in person and they had some people that came and showed up, but they still had a virtual component to it with the giveaway of the bikes. And so we were happy to be there to stream that live for the bike rodeo. Other activities that, again, we've worked on modifying and going the extra mile for partners would be honor student recognitions, state of the city presentations for different cities, also retiree events for school districts and also for cities. So extra ways we're helping out as groups cannot hold in-person events, but we work with them on modified virtual events. Final note, looking ahead to CCX Media Studio Services, We are working with a number of groups, and the great part about this is we are starting to see repeat customers on a regular basis. The one you see noted in the picture in the lower left is the Good Leadership Group. This is a monthly breakfast that is put on by a local company, and they talk about leadership within business, within cities. And so we did a live streaming event of this with someone from Kansas City, someone from New York, and someone here in our studio last month. They have another event that's coming up on May 28th that will be live in the morning as well. So a great ongoing partnership. They take a break then during the summer, and that group will be back with us again on a creative services for hire basis starting in September. Also, many ongoing projects with the Anoka Hennepin Schools, North Hennepin Community College, and a neat one that just popped up in St. Louis Park. They put together a semi-pro men's soccer team, and they reached out to us because they had seen our high school coverage in the past and said, "You guys do a great job. Can we hire you to cover our semi-professional team?" So we worked out some arrangements pretty much on a rushed basis because they said, "Well, our first game, inaugural game, is coming up in a couple of weeks. Can you help us?" And we said, "We'll put it together. We'll help you out." So we have a agreement with them for 4 games of coverage during the summer season. It comes from St. Louis Park High School's field. So again, a great for hire creative services opportunity where our truck is being rented, our crew is being rented to help out with community events. A few other quick notes, just add-ons. Continue working with the Crystal History Project. Now that the trees are blooming, we'll get back out and shoot some cover footage for that project. And also we have some friends in the Crystal community that have basements full of pictures and documents that we want to see and take pictures of. So we're doing that very shortly here as well. A few other special city projects we've helped on. Again, cities trying to do things virtually. Maple Grove, we recently shot with their Arbor Committee and did a tree planting to help people understand the right way to plant a tree. And coming up this week, next week, we're going to be shooting something with Plymouth on their Memorial Day event. So happy to help out the cities in many ways. That's my report for today, and be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Dave. Any questions? Okay, Mike, back to you.
Yes, Madam Chair, I just want to mention, and I wrote this in a couple of the emails, that it is highly likely that our next meeting, which will be in September, usually it'll be the 3rd Thursday in September, will be actually in person. I think there's going to be coffee there. There's rumors there. Unless something changes, I know quite a few of the cities have gotten back or are getting back to having in-person meetings. And so we'll keep you posted on all that, but right now that is the plan unless something changes. So we want to just give you a heads up on that. This is we've gone a full circle. I think our first Zoom meeting was exactly a year ago when we started out the May meeting. I know we had our February meeting in person and then had been virtual ever since. So I just wanted to let you know that. And then going back on what Shannon said about Pafua, we are definitely going to miss her. We have quite a few people who have worked in this establishment here over the years that are in news stations all across the country. And to go from like this organization to the 15th largest market is kind of a big deal. And what it says to me, because again, we have quite a few people just here locally, whether they're photographers or reporters, it tells me that we've got a great staff here, and that these organizations see that, they watch us, and then unfortunately every now and then take some of our good people. So but that's it's mixed feelings. I'm very proud that, you know, this can happen for people. It's sad to lose people like that, but again, we'll find a replacement, and we will miss Pafua and all the things that she has done. And that really concludes my comments, Madam Chair.
Okay. Anything else to bring up from anybody? Otherwise, a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Wendy.
Okay, Orin,
Aye.
Norris. Aye. I see Cheryl Weiler's on. Cheryl.
Aye.
Al Mattson.
Aye.
McDonald.
Aye.
Grams.
Aye.
Kastner,
Aye.
Glick,
Aye.
Schultz,
Aye.
Osner,
Aye.
Dennis,
Aye.
Reindorf,
Aye.
and LaHaye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you, everybody.
Thank you. We'll see you
Everybody have a
in
good
September.
weekend coming up.
Thank you.